When they arrived on the scene, they found that the wall was in fact hot, but there was no visible signs of any kind of fire. There was no smoke. There was nothing other than the heat coming from the wall. They opened the wall up, and they found that the conduit was warm. If you notice in the picture, you can see the 2x4 right behind that conduit that was warm. And this would be the beginning of what we've talked about as being pyrophoric carbonization. If this had gone on for an extended period of time, it would have deteriorated the cellulose fiber of the wood and would have lowered the ignition temperature, etc., etc. In any case, the engine company on the scene continued with their investigation. They realized that there was an electrical problem. So what they did is they went and pulled the mains to this particular unit. This is a duplex. And they put a hazard warning tag on. Once again, they notified me, and in the following morning, I got in touch with Lou Jimenez, the chief electrical inspector, and we went out to this scene because we were concerned about the possibility of pyrophoric action occurring inside this wall. Once we arrived on the scene, which was some 6.5 hours later, we looked up into the outlet, which was just below the area that we had just shown you with the conduit, and you can see the glow in the upper left-hand corner. The conduit itself was energized. Now, this is something that the firefighters did not see the night before. They knew that there was an electrical problem. They pulled the mains and they left thinking they had rendered this situation safe.
What you're looking at is actually an electrical arc. Again, you have to remember that the mains to this apartment were pulled. There's not supposed to be any electricity flowing in this apartment, yet we can plainly see that there's an electrical arc between the outlet box and the metal raceway in this bathroom. It's important to note that not only were the raceways in the bathroom energized, but there were other metal parts, including appliance frames with electrical voltage showing on them. The power company was called to the scene and asked to check for an open neutral. They installed a meter in one of the meter sockets, which checks for open neutrals on their system. It was energized, and it showed that an open neutral exists on their side of the electrical system. Further investigation showed that a connector on one of their poles was defective. The water company was dispatched to the scene so that we could further verify that an open neutral existed by having them remove the water meter. It's interesting to note that part of his gear consisted of rubber gloves and a heavy-duty jumper. We asked him why he carried such equipment, and he told us that on several occasions he has received shocks. He proceeded to take out the meter and after he took out the meter, we re-energized the electrical system and put the jumper cables between the water pipes where the meter was, and you can graphically see the arcing between the two water pipes, thus showing that indeed we did have another open neutral in the electrical system. Should a firefighter become part of this open neutral circuit, it could be disastrous for him. It is very important that firefighters stay away from water pipes, gas pipes, and other metal pieces of equipment when they are going to fire scenes of this nature. And request that the power be disconnected at the pole or at the weatherhead and the wires separated. Our investigation revealed that this was the defective connector, and when we attached the meter to it, the resistance was infinity.